Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is the Real Nathan Daley, and I'm your law enforcement translator, you guys. I'm just here to bring some insight on some difficult topics that are plaguing this country, and this particular issue is right up my alley, you guys. You see the thumbnail, we're talking about Candace Owens, Kanye West, right? Black Lives Matter. There's a lot that's going on. For those who don't know, Candace Owens is getting ready to release a documentary investigation into Black Lives Matter, the organization, and all of the foolishness, the nefarious activities that they've been involved in. As we know, there's a bunch of money missing and a lot of work that was not done. Again, you guys, this is something that we absolutely have to talk about. And I say it all the time on this channel, how dangerous the organization was and the people who have submitted themselves to it. Now, a lot of people don't like to have this conversation because they've been so emotionally ingrained into the idea or the slogan Black Lives Matter. Genius, by the way, genius. Listen, this organization is the ultimate Trojan horse. And unfortunately, a lot of people fell for it. A lot of people fell for it. And I say it all the time. When you have people who are really doing the job, you guys, and they're boots on the ground, they're actually interacting with these different people, you get to see the truth, not what's told to you on the media. A lot of us get a lot of our information from the media, and it's grossly inaccurate. Now, listen, I know some people do not like Candace Owens. Bless your heart. You guys, she speaks a lot of accurate things. And again, I don't necessarily agree with everything she says, but I do agree with a lot of things that she says. And I'm telling you now, this documentary is probably going to be completely off the chain. I have my popcorn ready, I promise you. Listen, she released a trailer into the documentary. We're gonna play that. We're gonna play the trailer, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it and what to expect. I encourage everybody to watch it. Listen, you guys, no one's paying me to say this, but we need to know what information has been found out about, right? We already know that they have been exposed for being, of course, a scam. And again, I have been saying this, and I'm gonna tell you why Black Lives Matter was so genius. And of course, now, you know, recently Kanye and Candace wore the shirt that said White Lives Matter, and people are losing their mind behind it. I don't understand why. You guys, it's not that serious. But again, it just goes to show how emotionally ingrained, emotionally sensitive people are. And again, this is the issue. We have allowed people to manipulate us through our emotions. And when you use emotions, you guys, you're lacking in the logic. And without the logic, you're screwed. And this is what they're banking on, and they're cashing in tremendously. Why? Because people are just so blind. They're so blind about what's really going on. Black Lives Matter, the organization itself, how they put this together, how they intertwined the emotions and the desperation of the black community wanting to have a voice. They completely played on that, and they're able to put together this massive organization. And it's sad. So I'm gonna play the trailer real quick. I want to get your thoughts on it. I'm gonna play it straight through. I might stop it, but I'll put a link on here so you guys can watch it. But I want us to go through this trailer. I want to give you my thoughts on it, because the reason why is because there's a follow-up video I want to do in reference to an interview Kanye West did with Tucker Carlson. Kanye said a lot of interesting things, and I want to point out some things that's very, very vital. Again, what we are seeing in this moment, you guys, this country is going through it's going through some things. And if we're not careful, things are going to get bad. It's going to get bad, and it's going to get bad really quickly. The economy is falling apart. The housing market's crashing. Inflation, right? Food, like there's a lot of things that we need to be discussing. And we're not paying attention to a lot of things that are going on. So anyways, let's take a look at this, because I think it's a very interesting clip, and I'm really curious to know what you guys think.
So Black Lives Matter released their 990 IRS filing. They collected $80 million. Where is that money?
It's not here. Everything looks worse than it was.
Where have you seen that money impacted throughout the city? So my producer just sent me a link. It is just shocking to me. because of how much money was raised to think that where he lived, the bills weren't being covered. Super frustrating, but that's a dead end, so. And here's where it gets really interesting. Ready for some BLM pride? Another $200K went to escorts, BDSM workers, strippers, peep show workers, phone sex operators, and webcam performers. And then at that moment, it became personal. And I thought, not only am I going to say the truth, I am going to scream the truth louder than you can scream the lies. It's incredible that the majority of the world hasn't seen this.
That's how you end a documentary. That trailer was amazing. And obviously, listen, you guys, this is coming out this week. And best believe it's going to destroy the internet. Why? I'm pretty sure the evidence that they have exposing Black Lives Matter, the organization, is going to be massive. It's going to be very telling, as we see at the end. Of course, there's always been an LGBTQ agenda attached to Black Lives Matter all the way from its conception. Even when they put their website together, they were very, very clear as to what their agenda was, you guys. This organization has been so deceptive. And how did they do it, you guys? They played on the emotions of Black people. And with emotions, you guys, how does it work? Let me explain to you how it works and why it's such an effective tactic. Very dangerous, though, because if you can control the emotions of a person, you can control their heart. And if you can control the person's heart, you can control the mind. And if you control the mind, you control the body, you guys. And that's exactly what happened, right? Completely manipulated people off of their emotions and have them doing things that were just irrational, illogical over the last 5 to 10 years. And when you try to wake people up and explain to them that they're being fooled, guess what? You're then now the enemy. You're being attacked. Why? The genius behind Black Lives Matter, you guys, is in the slogan. They built a defense, a strong defense around the name. So if you attack the name, it's as if you're attacking Black people, right? But it's almost like saying, oh, little babies matter, right? And it's like, no, they don't. Well, this organization's bad. And it's like, okay, well, does it mean you don't like babies? Or babies' lives don't matter, right? So they get you in this trick bag into an emotional argument. And it's hard for some people who are not really aware or they don't know how to articulate a point as to why this organization's bad. You get caught in a moment to where you look like the bad person by saying the organization's bad. Hey, this organization's bad and so forth and so on. Oh, you just are racist and you don't like Black people if you don't like Black Lives Matter. That is their counter argument, which is completely illogical, nonsensical. But nonetheless, they build everything around emotions. That's why nothing makes sense. Absolutely nothing makes sense when you break down what exactly the organization does. No one can tell you. Here's the other issue. The other issue is you have genuine people who are grassroots organizers who are in communities and Black communities who label themselves as Black Lives Matter, and they're actually doing the real work. So this is what ends up happening. The organization now is the problem, but there are also people who are genuinely really repping the label and saying, hey, we're Black Lives Matter. Well, the problem is society on the outside can't distinguish between the two. So now when someone is attacking the organization, you are then now indirectly attacking the grassroots organizers as well, who have adopted this actual slogan. Now, it's genius. It's absolutely genius, right? The organization is protected by the actual real people who are doing the work. At the same time, they get to use their nefarious actions and activities, and it's covered up, it's disguised, right, under this name that's being protected by people who are really doing the work. So this is why when they were having riots and they were protesting and things of that nature and things got out of control, it was easy to hide the antagonizers, right? It was easy to hide them within the actual group of real protesters because, again, what are you going to say? You're attacking one. you attack me and I'm really here for nefarious activities, then in actuality, I can say that you're attacking the entire organization. You guys, it's guerrilla warfare tactics is what they were doing, and they were very, very good at it, you guys, and it was very well funded. And so this is why I want to talk about this, because Kanye West also brings us up in his interview with Tucker Carlson. And listen, he talks about a lot of things about how people, they're using black people, and this is a technique that's always been used, to actually be the face of a white-ran organization. People have been saying this for years about Black Lives Matter. I am desperately anxious to see what additional information that was found out during this investigation. This is real investigative journalism, and I can't wait to see this stuff be exposed. You guys, I'm curious to know what you think as well in reference to this. The trailer is very telling, as we already know the corruption that was taking place. And a lot of these organizations who were like, hey, I'm Black Lives Matter, but we're not getting any money. But then they find out that the organization made over 90-something million in donations. And it's just like, okay, well then now what? Why do Black Lives Matter organization only speak out against issues when there's a white officer who have shot and killed a black person? Why is it that they only speak out against those situations if we're talking about Black Lives Matter? You know, and there was a situation where Don Lemon spoke about it. And he was talking to Terry Crews about it, and he was just like, well, Black Lives Matter only wants to speak about police shootings and that, and start your own organization. See, the ignorance behind that statement and overall just this whole situation with BLM, it is so mind-blowing to me. And it's not so much the organization I'm disappointed in, it's the people for falling for it. So I'm curious to know what type of fallout after she drops this documentary. I can't wait. And again, I've been saying it over and over again, and I'm waiting for people to expose some more individuals, these Crayola justice warriors that we have within the black community that seem to always push more division and more propaganda, more fear mongering, more hate. I'm waiting for somebody to expose them as well. I think we need to get to a place in this country where we start speaking truth. We have genuine, honest conversation, and people's opinions and perspectives are not shamed or insulted or guilted, right? Simply because they think different or they have a different opinion or a different way to resolve an issue, right? So I think that this is the start of something amazing. And I hope that people keep it up. We have to get out of this mindset where we are afraid to speak up because we don't want to be shamed, right? We don't want to be guilty of having a different opinion. And, you know, it's a very dangerous tactic that's used often in this country. I see it, honestly, more so from the left. And granted, you guys, I'm not left or right. I don't like any politicians for the most part. But the reality is you have one side that plays a very, very dangerous game, right? They use race, they race bait, they race hustle all the time. And it's very dangerous. And they push a lot of propaganda and they push fear mongering within the black community. And next thing you know, you guys, they have this idea. They start giving out this idea that black people are an endangered species in this country. And so, you know, I think that challenging and fighting back this narrative is absolutely crucial. It's crucial, and we need more people to speak up. So what do you guys think about this? I definitely plan on covering the video after it's released because I want to break it all the way down. So after she released this documentary, guys, we are going to be on it. We'll probably do a live stream over it and get everybody's thoughts in the midst of it. But if you're not familiar with it, you guys, please get familiar with it. The trailer will be in the link as well. I'm curious to know what you think. I'm here for it. I say expose these clowns and all the entire circus. The clowns in the circus, everybody, let them all. So anyways, you guys, that's it. Stay tuned for the next video, though. We're going to be breaking down this Tucker Carlson and Kanye West White Lives Matter situation as well. Yeah, with that, good night. God bless.